back and forth with Patrick Beverly. I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am. Y'all know who I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, your host with the most, Sherm City, and I'm back in here with Don't Be Fooled by the NBA Offseason Part 3. As I stated in the last videos, y'all, is to take this NBA offseason with a grain of salt and look at it as a businesswoman or a businessman. And a lot of things didn't fool me because I predicted that a lot of players would resign with their teams. Some players would go to other teams, and some players that I thought would go to a team that would make sense didn't. They wound up going to another team. So we're gonna break down what happened in the first stint or the first half of this NBA off season. As some of you may well already know, that the NBA spent well over $1 billion within the first half. And that is ridiculous. But to some people that might be chump change. I don't know. So we're just going to go over what happened and who signed where, who went where, who got traded where, and what type of money these players signed for within the first half. I'm just going to run it down with y'all and let y'all know what's going on. Jeremy Grant signed a 5-year deal with the Portland Trailblazers for $160 million. Bruce Brown, who was a former Denver Nugget, now NBA champion, is going to the Indiana Pacers on a 2-year deal worth $45 million. Reggie Jackson is re-signing with the Denver Nuggets on a 2-year deal worth $10 million. Kyrie Irving is re-signing with the Dallas Mavericks. Now I'm going to stop right there. See how I tell y'all, don't believe everything your earlobe captures. It's mostly backwards. Everybody was saying, oh, he should go to LA or he might go to Phoenix. It was all just playing cat and mouse as he signs a 3-year deal with the Mavericks. I'm trying to tell y'all need to start listening to Sherm. I know what I'll be saying most of the time. George Niang signs a 3-year deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers for $26 million. Jaquez Patel signs a 4-year deal with the Toronto Raptors. Trey Jones signs a 2-year deal with the Spurs. Gabe Vincent is leaving the Heat to sign a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. And to be honest, I don't think he's going to do nothing with the Lakers, y'all. He might average 12 points. We'll see if that happens. But if he couldn't score in the NBA Finals, what makes you think he's really going to score with the Lakers? Make it make sense. Chris Middleton re-signed with the Bucks for $102 million, 3-year deal. This one broke my heart a little bit because Yuta Watanabe signs with the Phoenix Suns. And honestly, I wish Brooklyn would have kept him because he really was a nice piece. It's just our coach really wasn't playing him much. And that's how a lot of coaches are. They 7 deep. They don't use their whole bench. And that's another video that I'm going to get into as well, as these coaches out here don't use their players to their full potential. Joe Ingles is going to the Orlando Magic on a 2-year, $22 million deal. Javon Carter is going to the Chicago Bulls on a 20-year, 3-year deal worth $20 million. Herb Jones is going to the New Orleans Pelicans on a 4-year, $54 million deal. Josh Richardson signs a 2-year deal worth $6 million with the Miami Heat. Roy Hachimura signs a 3-year, $51 million deal to stay with the Lakers. The Lakers also go out and get Cam Reddish on a 2-year deal. Kevin Love is staying in Miami on a 2-year deal. Cam Johnson re-signs with the Brooklyn Nets on a 4-year, $108 million, which kind of make the Brooklyn Nets over the salary cap. But in actuality, we can use him in a trade bait to get Dame Lillard. And I'm going to get in that a little bit later about that trade that's really in the works for Damian Lillard. Fred VanVleet is going to the Houston Rockets on a 3-year, $130 million deal. That's good for him. Seth Curry, who we lost, is going back to the Dallas Mavericks on a 2-year deal. Dennis Schroeder is going to the Toronto Raptors on a 2-year, $26 million deal. Derrick Rose, who I thought should have went to the Chicago Bulls because they desperately need a point guard. He's going to the Memphis Grizzlies on a $6.5 million deal worth 2 years. I guess he's going to be the backup to Marcus Smart and John Morant, which honestly, if he would have went to Chicago, he probably would have been the starter and got more love. It would have been fitting, but hey, he's his own man, and I can't tell him really what to do with that. Victor Oladipo is traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tyrese Halliburton is re-signing with the Pacers on a 265-year deal, as well as Desmond Bain on a 5-year deal worth $207 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. So, hey, John Morant, you better get your shit together, brother, because they gave that money to somebody else besides you, and you really need to focus on basketball, work on your craft. But what I'm saying about this NBA offseason is not a lot of players went to different teams. Everybody kind of stayed the same. Little marquee name players went here and there. You know, the big name deals already kind of happened with Bradley Beal being traded. And I think you're going to see little signings here and there to fill out these teams' rosters. But the biggest trade everybody's still waiting on is where in the world is Damian Lillard going? And I keep trying to tell y'all, it's between 3 teams what I'm hearing. The Miami Heat, of course, Brooklyn Nets, and low-key the San Antonio Spurs. Which I don't think the Spurs have enough to get, dang. So it's really between Brooklyn and Miami. And honestly, I'm going to say he's going to Brooklyn. Because what does Miami have to really offer outside of Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero? And if they do make that trade, it's just going to be Bam, Jimmy, and Dame with a bunch of other players. And Dame's still going to have to carry the workload. I know y'all thinking, what? He got Bam and Jimmy. How is he carrying the workload? Jimmy Butler doesn't really have a bag like that. Yes, he can get you 20, but is it a consistent 20? No. And if we look at Bam, he doesn't have a bag either. So Bam and Jimmy don't really have a bag. They just here and there with it. Dame's the only one that has a bag and get you 20 to 30 every single night. Them other two, nah, that's why they play better as a team in Miami. So if he does go to Miami, you're going to see Dame really carrying the load. And they're not going to do anything y'all thought they're going to do. Now, if he goes to Brooklyn, that's the better matchup. Because if he goes to Brooklyn, he got another player, Mikal Bridges, that can get you 20, of course. And also, it's a better market for him. It's a bigger market in New York. And we got the more pieces to fit for Dame other than what Miami is giving him. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell y'all, do not be fooled by this NBA offseason, because everything that was supposed to happen happened. And now when everything signs where it's supposed to, and we're going to see what happens when the NBA season starts, who's going to be in the top 5 power rankings. And I'm going to give y'all already who's going to be in the top 5 power rankings off the bat. They're going to put Denver up there. They're going to put Golden State up there. They're going to put Phoenix up there. They're going to put Milwaukee up there. And it's going to be a sleeper number 5 team. I don't know yet who's going to be the sleeper number 5 team in the power rankings. But I'm letting y'all know now, this next year NBA offseason, the teams who signed the most free agents and did the most moves are not going to win. And the teams who made the right moves are going to win. Like I said in this video, man, like, comment, and subscribe. Please support the channel as I support y'all. I love all y'all, and peace.